Hi guys, this lesson we're going to talk about distance and how to use the ruler postulate to calculate the distance. Now remember, a postulate is just a simple statement. It's real easy to everybody can accept it, and we just say I believe. So let's read through the ruler postulate. It says this, that the distance between any 2 points can be calculated by finding the absolute value of the difference between the numbers shown on the ruler. So that absolute value is going to be really important because that's going to help make sure that our answers for distance and length are always positive numbers. Let's give it a try with this ruler. Let's say you have a segment and you've lined up the ruler so that it starts at the number 2 and goes clear out to the number 11. So you're starting at 2 and you want to know the distance out to 11. According to the ruler postulate, we could take the difference between 2 and 11, absolute volume, and we'll have our answer. So it'll look like this. 2 minus 11 would give us the difference, and then we want to absolute value that. 2 minus 11 gives us a negative number, negative 9, and in absolute value, negative 9 comes out to be positive 9. And so this would be 9 units long. Actually, let's make that inches. I believe this was an inches ruler. And then the important thing about the ruler postulate is it doesn't designate which order you come in. And a lot of kids will ask, well, what order do I subtract it in? And that's the cool thing, is it doesn't make any difference. So let's take a switch. Let's take 11 minus 2 instead. When I do 11 minus 2 and put it in absolute value, well, inside I get 9 for 11 minus 2, and then absolute value of 9 still is 9. So either way, it's 9. Let's take a look at some examples. In our first example, we have to find the length of CD. Now the ruler in this case is an actual graph with the number lines accordingly showing us the coordinates. So where is C and where is D? The important number line we're going to want to use is the x-axis. Where is C? And that's located at -4 for its x-coordinate. And where is D? Well, D is right here at 3 for its x-coordinate. So, using the ruler postulate, we're just going to figure out the difference between those two numbers and make sure to absolute value. In our difference, we would take 3 minus -4 and absolute value that. Now remember, when you have two negatives like we do here, we're going to just go ahead and add those. So it's 3 plus 4, which is 7, and absolute valuing 7, we get 7 as our distance. So the length of this CD segment is 7 units. And we can count that with the squares to make sure. If we start here at C and we count these jumps, we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sure enough, 7 units. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Find the segment length here. Now here we see our rulers laid out, and we're starting at this coordinate, which is right halfway between 1 and 2, so let's call that 1.5. And it goes out to beyond 4, but not halfway. There's a halfway mark for 4, so right here looks like we're at a quarter, 4 1/4. I'm going to call that 4.25. Okay, let's apply the ruler postulate. Subtracting those to find the difference, 4.25 minus 1.5, and then putting that in absolute value. So the difference between 4.25 and 1.5, that's 3 point, no it isn't, that's too big. What is that? That's 2.75, and absolute valuing 2.75 gives me a final answer of 2.75. These are units of inches, so I'll call it 2.75 inches. That's the segment length. And our final example. For finding AB on this grid, like we saw in number 1, we're going to use the coordinates of the axis, in this case the y-axis, since this is a vertical line. Where is point A on the y-axis? Well, we can find that as its y-coordinate is listed as 28. And down to B, our y-coordinate for B, they show us 10, and that matches up with the grid. So, ruler postulate, here we go. Take the difference between those, that's going to be 28 minus 10, and put it in absolute value. The absolute value of 28 minus 10 would be the absolute value of 18. And so our final answer for this distance from A to B is 18 units. Hope you find this pretty simple.